Attention, please.
And now, it's Cutter's Rockcast.
There he is.
What up?
What's up, man? Good to see you.
Are you eating right now?
Just having a nice little homemade parfait.
All right, sure. So I see you're so fucking busy lately that in order to have a conversation with me, you got to eat your parfait snack as well. It's fine.
No, I just got done surfing. I have to re-energize. You know what I mean?
I hear
No,
you.
I'm done though.
It's all good, man. I don't really mind. You know me. This is chill.
How's shit? You been getting some riding in?
Shit's good. Yeah, actually, this year, I rode from here to New Orleans. And
I was
back.
just in New Orleans like 2 days ago.
Oh yeah. It was
What's
probably
that ride? Like, is there anything good there? Like,
we just did it. You know, I got a couple friends and we'll see if we do it next year. But for the last couple of years, kind of the idea spawned during the pandemic of, we need to get the F out of here. And we decided to get on our motorcycles and go. Last year we went east. This year we went south, and we'll see what happens next year.
that's like the Ozarks and shit.
We didn't even get over there. I mean, we kind of stayed on this side of the Mississippi River.
Okay.
Almost following it directly all the way down, but and then came back up through like Alabama and and Louisville and all that good stuff.
So did you go through like Tail of the Dragon through Tennessee and stuff like that? That's pretty far, isn't it?
We didn't get over there, and that's on my bucket list, man. I want to do that. I want to ride the Blue Ridge. I still want to ride the PCH at some point.
Oh, dude, you gotta do that. You can't right now though, which is
I know. Well, last time I had the opportunity to, it didn't work out either because of, I don't know, something called wildfires.
Wildfires happen and then it rains and then you get crazy mudslides and then the road disappears. It's nuts.
Exactly. And then they got to put it back and then it disappears again. And
it's never ending problem.
How is California life right now?
I couldn't tell you because I've only been here for a day.
Okay.
And we've been nonstop, man. So it's been pretty crazy. I haven't been here very much all year, and I won't be. I mean, I'm leaving again on Tuesday, so I'll get like 4 days at home, be gone for about a week, and then we go to the East Coast for a couple more shows, and then I have about a week before we start tour. So it's crazy.
Yeah, actually, the touring before the touring.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good thing though, Mark. I mean, that means you guys are definitely doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, busy is good, obviously. But you definitely like a little bit more time at home. But it is nice when we get here. So like we've been flying. We had this like stint with Guns N' Roses that we just finished, and we've been like flying to the gig, flying back home for 2 days, flying back cross country to go to like Philadelphia, flying home for 2 days, flying to New Orleans, flying back. It's just been nice. So
okay, man. Just let me live my kid life a little bit. Opening for Guns N' Roses. I want to know all about it. Like, what was that experience like?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Obviously, we're pretty like familiar with their crew now, the band, everybody that works like in management. So it's kind of like a home away from. It's our like touring home away from home now. You know what I mean? It's very similar at this point to like what it was like being on tour with the Black Crowes, and like everybody's name, you see everybody every day. It's strange that it feels somewhat normal. You know what I mean? Because they're such a influential band for all of us. So, but yeah, like musically, it's a great fit. Obviously, we get a lot of new fans doing that show. All over the country and now really the world. I mean, we've been a lot of different places with them. So we love doing it. And obviously like to have their support and like hear nice things from them after shows, like getting a little texts here and there is like, it means the world to me. I literally woke up to one yesterday. Like,
oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's a pretty special gig and we're happy we were on it.
It does get weird how normal that ends up feeling, but at the same time, there are moments where you have to almost sit back and pinch yourself and go, wow, so this is happening.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that is definitely one of those gigs for us. And there's a couple more that I'd like to maybe experience with other bands that are obviously huge, like AC/DC and like the Stones would be cool, and Aerosmith. But that Guns N' Roses one is definitely a really, really big one for all of us. So it's probably the biggest one for all of us combined, I would
Oh,
say.
sure, I can see that. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's like Justin grew up in LA. John, like Guns N' Roses is John's far and away his favorite band. It's not even close with anybody else. And they're one of mine too. And it's a big deal for sure.
That's very cool. Speaking of your band, tell me about new drummer.
He's awesome, man. Yeah, it's funny. I'm just putting together. I was going through a little footage that I was taking on the road these past couple weeks, and just like seeing stuff that I've shot of him. Just got a ton of personalities. He's been a really close friend of ours for the last like decade, and played a lot of the bars and clubs with us coming up. And he's obviously a super talented drummer and singer and writer. So he's been a pretty great asset. When we went in to record the record, and like he's really talented with harmonies and stuff, and he's been helping me out a lot with that. When we were writing, he's like, if you throw the third on and you sing da 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 da, it can really make this part pop. And I'm like, I'll give it a try. Yeah, that's definitely an element of musicality that we really haven't had. And so he's got a mic at the drum set, and he's singing like perfect harmonies on the live show now, which is really cool. And like the first time we did Another Last Time, he's throwing the harmony in there, and I was like, holy smokes, that sounds good. So
Yeah, to be able to pull that off live with somebody else, that's
it's we're not the Eagles, obviously, we're far and away from that, but it's getting some of those elements that I really like with somebody that I can turn to and just feel good vibes with on stage. It's really good.
It's funny you say that, and I didn't realize that. I read I don't know, another, maybe it was the press release for the album or the song or whatever it was about him singing more. But I was listening to Won't Take Me Alive, and of course the title track, and which is available everywhere right now. The record comes out November 3rd. There's your plug.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Get in there.
But I noticed it right away on those two songs that there was some more vocality. Is that a word? I just made it up maybe, but there was more vocal prowess to that as far as other voices. You could almost hear it. And me, I pick those things out, but so it's cool to find out that's you got a drummer back there or just another musician in the band to be able to handle that. As a lead singer, I'm sure that's a great crutch. Not crutch, but a tool to have.
Yeah, it's funny when you're writing and like you're looking for melodies and stuff, and he's like, his mind is going 1,000 miles a minute. And you look, if you're stuck with something, and he's like, you can do this, or you can do this, you can do this. He's got that like musical knowledge of maybe like scales that I wouldn't necessarily know. I don't know anything about anything, to be honest. I just do it from the heart and hope it's good. And if it's not, I'll try again. But he kind of knows how to connect things musically, which is, just a different language that I don't speak. But the two of us doing it together, and obviously with the other two guys, you tend to find your way. But yeah, he's always full of options, and he's really good at like pushing songwriting forward. Even if like, we might not be pumped about an idea, everybody might not be like, this is amazing, we got to finish this. He just wants to get things to a point where they're done, and then you can reevaluate and maybe change things up a little bit. And that's definitely something we all needed to get better at, and I think got better at this time around. But yeah, when it came to doing harmonies and stuff, to your point about the vocality of the record, he would just be like, I'd be singing to the mic, and he'd be right here like feeding me some harmonies, and you're just trying to see which ones work really well.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and that stuff is all over all my favorite records, like Stones, Zeppelin, Aerosmith. They're all that stuff's all tucked in there. It's very subtle, but it makes a big difference.
It makes a huge difference. It fills everything up, I think. So if you're doing a lot of that, can't find the breaks, of course, that's the album. You talk to me about recording this, because you guys did this in Australia.
Yeah, we went back to Australia. That's where Nick Didia, our producer, lives. He lives in Byron Bay, and yeah, we were pumped to go there. So we took the long flight, got over there. He like literally lives in paradise, which is really cool. It's kind of like the Malibu of Australia where he's at in Byron.
Mhm.
So yeah, we took a month out there and really dove in creatively. And I think we walked out with like 18 songs, and these are the 11 that um, made the record. And, maybe some of the other ones will see their way onto the subsequent thing that we do next. But yeah, I mean, that studio he's got out there is brand new. They built it specifically on top of this like mountain. So you're like looking out at this beautiful vista in Byron Bay, and it's just awesome. So yeah, we had a blast.
How important is that, the vibe? I mean, how, like, the place, the where you are, the mood you're in, all that.
Especially when I'm like, writing lyrics and stuff, having he had all these rooms and like patios and stuff that you could go out and just sit there and like listen to nature and feel inspired. And, I would literally go out there for 15 minutes, come back. Okay, I got a verse now. Let's try this. And then, you try it, maybe change a word or two here or there, hear it back again. Be okay, that's good. Give me another 30 minutes. I'm gonna go try again, and then come back with the second verse. And all the while the guys are working on percussion or guitar takes or something. And yeah, it's just the vibe is that's everything. You want to feel comfortable and you want to feel inspired.
Right. But it's an interesting, because if you think back to all the, greatest records in rock and roll history, right? You even think back to like Zeppelin, they recorded that one album in a castle, or
Yeah.
Korn did this album in a warehouse, or whatever it may be, all aspects of the gambit. And all those records, sort of, when you hear about where they're recorded, it's like, oh yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Dark and dreary. So now this album's dark and dreary, or it was sunny and uplifting. So this has a positive note to it.
Yeah, you can definitely feel those elements make their way into the music. Yeah, there's that famous Chili Peppers record. I think that was like recorded in that haunted house or whatever with
Well, that was the
Rick.
Rick Rubin one where, yeah, the Chili Peppers recorded there, Slipknot recorded there, a couple other, and it's like those albums are Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. And even like what's it, the Springsteen song Atlantic City, like he just found a vibe that he tapped into with that entire record. And they tried to redo it in like a contemporary, like state-of-the-art studio, and he's just like, no, there's something about this vibe that just translates the way I want it to. So it's not always the quality of the studio, it's the ambition and the intention of the people making the record that can make it great.
Right. Yeah. Give me the people involved in the right spot, and you can make anything work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of truth to that. So what are you singing about lyrically? Because I know this first single, Won't Take Me Alive. So this is a little bit more intense, right? Because this is in regards to what's going on in Ukraine.
Yeah, in a subtle way, that was just something that was top of mind. And it was obviously in the news everywhere, and I just thought like, man, it'd be great to have a song for people that are being taken advantage of in any like aspect of life. Obviously that's a super intense situation, but our music video is about a girl who like felt like she doesn't want to be like a straight A student. She's a rocker and she needs to express that. And that's, that goes for people like struggling with the legal issues of like the LGBTQ plus community, like some like white senator in wherever Tennessee or where, you know what I mean? Some guy who's completely out of touch with society is going to tell them what they should be like, it's that's where I'm coming from with it. And it's a deeper song than I think people might realize, but at the same time it's supposed to be universal and it's supposed to make you feel something about, saying F you to people in authority.
Yeah, deeper lyrically. I mean, it's still obviously the party rock and roll style that Dirty Honey does. but I love the FU attitude that a song like that has. You know, give me the fast guitar riff and some killer drums and a lead singer screaming his balls off about FU, you know, basically. And I'm in. That's rock and roll. And that
Yeah,
can be translated to everything.
yeah, and I think you know, the attitude was already there in the original demo that John showed me, and he, like, when he sent me the demo, he titled it "You'll Have to Kill Me First," and I was like, okay, that doesn't have like, that doesn't have the poetic rhythm or phrasing that like sings well. So I'm trying to like find a way to say that better. So I think we, you know, I think we executed that the best we
For sure. Won't Take Me Alive. So the music video kind of explores that story though, right? Of the girl in school basically going, this isn't for me.
Yeah, it's that moment when the levee breaks and, you know, you just can't take it anymore. And I was trying to, you know, when we were like rapping about the concept of the video, I was trying to find when that moment was for me, and it did happen. Did happen when I like studied in Italy, and yeah, I had a whole thing go down. And it's just like, you know, I don't know if this is who I am. You know what I mean? And
Right.
John had his version of it, and we all sort of had our own version of it, and we are like, this is pretty cool. So obviously, we took it to an extreme with this student like keying the principal's car and getting her tongue pierced and stuff. But it's you know, it's expressive, and it evokes the attitude of what the song's about for sure.
What about the album as a whole? You know, Can't Find the Breaks is the name of it. I imagine that's something to do with like we were talking about at the beginning of this conversation, not slowing down, not moving, not stopping.
Yeah, exactly. You know, obviously that's a song title that I came up with, and once we started kicking around names for the record, that one seemed to be very fitting because especially we were about to embark on this really chaotic like summer tour date thing. It's not a tour. We're doing a bunch of one-offs, but it was like, holy, like we're gonna be on a plane like every other day. You know, all over the place. Like we
Right.
can't stop, we just can't stop. We can't turn this down. So it was it was a title that really described our lives at the moment. And we thought it was really fitting. You know, it's like a time capsule title of what we're going through now.
So the two songs, you know, the title track and Won't Take Me Alive are very intense hard rockers. Is that indicative of the sound of what this album is going to be? Obviously, that's all we've been able to hear so far as the album doesn't come out
Yeah.
November 3rd.
I don't really know when it's coming out, but I think there's another one coming out relatively soon
Okay.
before the record release date. But yeah, that'll be a completely different flavor from these first two. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah, these first two they're still rock and roll. They're different. I think they're definitely different enough than what we've obviously put out, like in a completely um, palatable way for people that love Dirty Honey already. I think they're very like in that rock lane, but different. And then a lot of the rest of the album is us like spreading our wings creatively and sonically, and you know, showing you a few different sides of what Dirty Honey is.
Uh,
It's really good.
it's really good. You
Yeah, yeah,
should
no,
say that. You're the lead singer of the band. If you didn't say
yeah.
that, I'd be a little worried about you.
Trust me, you can get worried still. Yeah.
Are you going to pull out the quintessential, this is our best album yet?
I mean, I genuinely think it is, mostly
Of course
because
you
the
do.
last time it was a COVID, it was like a COVID album, and it just wasn't made under the best circumstances. So I think we really were able to tap into something new this time around with everybody getting into the studio again together and going back to Australia and having time to create and use the studio creatively instead of just going in there recording, get out, you know.
Right.
Um, we didn't feel rushed at all. So I think it definitely paid dividends, but you know, I'll let the audience decide. I think it's really good.
All right. I got a very serious question here before we start wrapping things up.
Yeah.
That hat collection that's going on behind you.
Yeah. It's getting bigger.
Oh, gee, it goes further up even.
Oh, dude, look at this. It's a joke. You kidding me? I gotta chill.
The
Yeah.
okay, explain. I mean, obviously you wear a hat on stage every time you guys are playing like that, but
Dude, I have all these hats too, and I
yeah.
literally wear on stage most of the time. The one that I made myself originally, because at the time I couldn't afford any of these ones.
Well, right.
So I made my own and made it kind of look like one of these ones. This is like a famous designer here in Venice, California. And I was just like, yeah, I can't afford one of those. So I like made this one, and it's just stuck with me this whole time. Every time I like put an outfit on, I'm like, I got like 7 or 8 different hats I could choose from. It's usually this one. This top hat got a lot of love the first tour, much to
Oh
the
yeah.
much to the anger and dismay of my manager. He was losing his mind. Yeah,
Why? Because he
he's
also manages Slash.
he doesn't also manage Slash, but he was just like, no top hats, no top hats. So I'm like, I kind of like it, dude. Yeah.
Hey, you gotta let the artist breathe, man.
That was
Be
my won't take me alive moment, man.
I love it. Well, speaking of Guns N' Roses, I mean, we said at the beginning you've been playing some shows at Guns N' Roses, but the headlining tour starts soon. A headlining tour for Dirty Honey. This should feel good and fun, I imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We obviously like doing shows with Guns N' Roses is amazing, playing festivals is amazing, but
Right.
in your own atmosphere, in your own rhythm, playing the same time every night, just feeling the comforts of being the headliner, that's always nice. Yeah, it makes things a lot easier, and it's really enjoyable, and having the sound and everything the way you want it to have, like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people showing up to see your show and knowing your songs, like that's a completely different energy than opening up for Guns N' Roses as people are filtering in to see Guns N' Roses. You know what I mean? So, we're gonna hit a lot of the spots that we're gonna be near a lot of the spots that we um, just opened for Guns N' Roses with. So, I'm sure a lot of those people will have had time to check us out, and will be more familiar with the material. And, we've hopefully created some new fans, and that's always super exciting. But yeah, to go out on the road on your own tour is like, that's all I ever wanted, really. So
Yeah.
I'm playing with house money.
It's happening, Mark.
Yeah.
It's really happening. And then right in the midst of that tour, the album drops. And then all of a sudden you go from playing the theaters to the bigger rooms to the arena. See, it just goes.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, and we're also gonna do a cool thing like on this tour. So obviously, the tour starts like 10 days before the record drops. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually sell the new record before the release date at the show. So if you want to get the record, come to the show. You
It's a
can
little
get
enticing.
Yeah, it's cool. So
Vinyl?
the vinyl actually showed up a little early.
Okay.
We were like, let's do it. Like, why not? Let's do it. That'd be awesome. So we were signing them the other night, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I just ran over to Slash's dressing room. I was like, I want you to be the first one to have it. So
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah,
He
it was
didn't
cool.
add it to a stack, did he? I mean, like he actually
He was
played.
like, this is
That's the way
amazing. I don't have a record player on the bus, but like I will cherish this.
I always imagine that, right? Like the old school rock and roll legend is getting the opening band's CD or demo or whatever it may be, and it's just, yeah, okay, kid.
Yeah, no, he was super gracious. He's always really nice. So that was a really cool moment for all of us.
I have had the opportunity to meet him a few times, and absolutely blew me away how just nice and respectful and well
Oh, he's the
spoken
best.
and all of that.
Yeah, he's the best.
Especially as a guitar player, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
oh my god. Speaking of fanboying or fangirling over somebody, listen, I'm gonna bring this up before we go because um we talked about this a little bit the last time I saw you, but this has gotten bad, I think. And I don't know if she knows that I know you, but my daughter's vocal coach. So she takes voice lessons at a place called Appleton Rock School, school kids, and they teach rock and roll and vocals and guitar and keyboards and drums.
Sick.
Awesome. It's so
Yeah.
cool. And they got a couple locations in Northeast Wisconsin. I think there's some other cities around the country that do this too, but she is obsessed with Dirty Honey. I mean, like, I don't think it's healthy.
Well, I don't think being obsessed with rock and roll in any capacity is healthy for anybody.
There you go. But I just like I just popped on Instagram the other day, and there's another video of her singing "Won't Take Me Alive" a cappella in a hallway. Like
I did see that. Yeah, I
Did
saw
you?
that. Yeah, I did.
It's really good. She hit me up a while back and was like, "Hey, Dirty Honey's coming close." And she got to sing with you guys apparently when you guys were here a while back.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, I hope it works out. Cool.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
It's awesome to see that kind of fanship, though. It really is and not just her, but just to put this all back around and put a bow on it, to see that kind of fan, really get so into an artist that they have to cover the songs, sing the songs. I was that kid, so it's.
Yeah, me too. That's the best. That's like the best thing. That's the best reward there is, like, to know that you like inspired somebody enough to pick up an instrument or sing or, be creative in some sort of way. That is like my favorite thing to see. I love seeing like the super little kids, play the riffs and sing the songs. That's my favorite.
Dude, I played a little small gig with my daughter, and we did like a couple Fleetwood Mac songs.
Nice.
We did an Audio Slave song, just some of Paramore and stuff like that too. But
it was great, by the way. I just saw them. She sings her ass off, Haley.
Oh, dude, she's super underrated, to be honest.
Yeah, I think their time is coming right now. Obviously, they've been on tour with freaking Taylor Swift. Like, it doesn't get any bigger than that. And they're going on a huge one in Europe. So they're gonna have a really nice moment coming up here that hopefully will last a lifetime.
Fingers crossed. Marc Labelle, Dirty Honey, again, new album, Can't Find the Breaks, out on November 3rd. Thank you for, and the headline tour starts the third week of October.
Yep. October 18th, I think, something like that.
I was going to say that, but then it didn't feel right. Now I always screw up those dates, so I just left it out.
Yeah, I could be wrong. But I think it's around there somewhere. I have to go to San Francisco around then at some point.
There you go. Good luck, man. Finish your parfait, and thank you as always for doing this. It's always a pleasure to see you. Man. And good luck on your Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year.
They're looking good, aren't they?
Yeah. Look at Baker Mayfield coming out and balling.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, the NFL won't take him alive, man. Just
there you go. Send it to him.
His career ain't going down without a fight.
Make sure he uses it as his walkout music or something.
I hope he does. I'm gonna send him a message. We'll see if he responds. He doesn't seem like a big social media guy.
No, probably not. When you get to that point, I can't imagine you'd want to be.
Yeah, no, I'm loving it though. It's been exciting. I think they're gonna get pumped on Monday though, but we'll see.
Oh, I'll root for you. They're not playing the Packers this year, so I'll root for you this time.
Thank you.
Cutter's Rockcast.
Don't forget to tune in.
Exactly.